more stuff happen. So I think that's an example that you're showing that it could, right, on a very small scale.
I think this is one of the things that was like kept and maintained within, let's say, the religious construct, or it's just without the religious dogma and without the cultural construct involved in it. Because really, like I know I mean, this is embedded in everything throughout time. You know, where there are multiple people, two or more gathered. It's written in scripture, two or more who are gathered. You know, there I'll be in the midst, and it's within the vibrational physics. It's within, like in churches, they have when they have
I
the
believe
the
that.
prayer meetings, they get together, and you know, it's like people who have good intent and seek to do good and want to affect change. It's like you can call it
Yeah.
praying, you can call it meditating, but just like removing all the filters, removing all the dogma, and just straight trying to get that straight line without all the filters, right? Just trying to affect change. Like,
Well, you
actually,
can get
if
that.
I could,
Go ahead.
well, I was just saying, if I could get, if I could have anything out of these communities that ever come into fruition, that would be
Mhm.
the number one thing that I would like to see come out of it.
Amen.
I have
Well,
a,
you see it in like companies, right? Like when I used to work with my best friend, you don't really get that many opportunities to work with your best friend at a job. But when I did, we created an environment that was like hopping, right? We were going back and forth. We both say, "Love, how y'all doing today?" So both of us in that environment together, everybody wanted to be there. All of our regulars were saying they don't want to go anywhere else. I see that even as a business that works, right? Two people can make an entire room change. So if that can happen just on that level, even a business level, then yes, this can happen on a grand scale. It just people aren't doing it enough. An environment alone, two people can change. Yeah, I've seen it.
now what do we feel about what good do we think we're doing for the world, whether we give good information or misinformation? What do you think is better for the world based
I
on
think
that?
a lie is just as useful as the truth. Bullshit, it doesn't matter as long as two people agree. Now, in these servers and this whole community, you're not going to have a lot of people that agree. That's the problem. It doesn't really matter if it's bullshit or if it's truth. As long as you have as long as you have harmony with another person or another group or another community. That's really all I think that it comes down to. It doesn't matter if it's bullshit as long as you can find harmony and peace with people, I think.
What if that misinformation is damaging? What if it is harmful?
Then you got to pick a different tribe.
Well, I think that the information, each person should be able to, like, whatever information is out there, everybody should be able to, like, access. It doesn't need to be censored. It doesn't need to be controlled. And because then when you do that, then you're working off of faith that the whoever's appointed as the arbiter of truth has the truth, right? And we already know that that's not the case with anybody. So it's up to, I think it should be left up to each individual to have their own discernment. And then it's only on their own shoulders, right? What they believe to be a lie or what they believe to be a truth, or how diligent they are to seek out what the truth is. And then it's only
Yeah.
on them and no one else.
Well, think about the globe. Even if the globe is completely bullshit, or even if it's completely true, it still brings people together. So that is sort of powerful in like there has some sort of spiritual connection where people can find peace and harmony. So I don't think it matters whether it's a truth or a lie. But
I mean, I think it.
So, I really quick.
I th-
Now, you said that the globe brings people together. Do you mean like the globe brings globers and flat earthers together?
well, it even does that. So yeah, because we were even talking about it, it's brought us. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
So it doesn't matter.
what
That's
what
my
about?
point.
Does you can see it that way that like globers and flat earthers are being brought together off of this. But does animosity matter at all?
Yeah, I think you can hear some people are hateful when they talk about this stuff, and I think that's the biggest factor in all of it. Because if I'm a stupid person and you're talking to me, and you know I'm stupid, maybe you'll pity me and you'll say, "Okay, dude, it's not a big deal." But you'll talk to some other people who are like, "You're an idiot. You go die." It's like there's like
Oof.
a energy of peace, yeah, and
Yeah.
discord.
I mean,
But
no one deserves that kind of language. I mean, you
Yeah,
can
but you
call
can
someone
hear it in
stupid,
people's
but
voice, is what
you
I'm
shouldn't
saying.
tell people they should fucking die.
I'm telling you, listen for their voice. You can hear where they're coming from sometimes.
yeah, I agree with you, Mike. Nobody needs to be talked like that. But to expand on the answer, there's one more thing I wanted to say to your previous question, like about dangerous information. What I do find dangerous, however, is where they convince the world to turn their children over and to trust some authority, right, to put the kids in schools and them to indoctrinate them into things that haven't been proven or verified or things that are just flat out false, right? Or to have government officials who are authority over uh, and the ones who control the information and the censorship. And so just let's just say the government authorities all as a whole. Now we can parse out who's actually doing it and who's not, but we know that like whether it's the actual government or the illegitimate government who's working behind the shadows, who cares and who knows? My point is, this is what I find dangerous is when you have people of authority in positions of authority. The world has been, convinced and like put to sleep into where they believe and trust everything that they say, and they're in this position where you have to like just take their word for it, and they're the ones that are disseminating a bunch of deception and a bunch of lies. That's dangerous because then whatever lies that you discover that they're telling today, who knows what the lies are going to be tomorrow?
So,
That is dangerous.
what lies do you think that children are being taught?
Well, since my children are already grown adults and they've already close to 30 and in their mid 20s or early 20s because I've got three. So anyway, since my children are grown, it's been a long time since I've seen what they're teaching in the educational system.
So, what were your
From what
what were your children taught? Were they taught lies?
Well, here I can point this out. This was after my children got out of school that they started this, but where they go behind their parents' back and they teach the kids in school that they're not a male or a female, right? You can just change your mind anytime you want to and choose whichever one you want to be. That's dangerous.
That's not
Behind the parents,
that's not what I'm
behind
asking
the
though.
parents' back. Well, I mean, this is yeah, it is. You're asking what they teach in schools that is dangerous.
No,
This is a really good example of something that's taught in schools that's dangerous.
I'm asking what were your children taught that were dangerous?
Why do I need to go back that far? This is the best example that I can give you because this is one of the most dangerous things that they've taught in schools.
All right.
So I kind of want to stick on this point
Yeah, that's fair.
because it could be anything.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. I mean there's a lot that that the modern society, that not everyone agrees with. It's definitely an adjustment for things. But I mean, I do have kids. I have a 2-year-old and I have a 13 and a 15-year-old. They are in fact not taught that you can just choose whatever gender you want. They are taught to be tolerant of people who do choose to. They're being taught kindness and acceptance. They're not being taught to change their gender, right? They're being taught to be tolerant of the people that although they do take up 0.01% of the population of the United States.
Acceptance is good.
Acceptance and kindness, and they're just being taught kindness. And
I do get that, but tolerating, excuse me, certain things we should not be tolerating because like that's a mental problem that somebody has if they think they're a T-Rex. And if a parent says, I'm going to go ahead and let my child go around saying it's a T-Rex, I don't think you'd let your child say that. You'd be like, listen, let me tell you how you're not a T-Rex. Like, you know what I mean? But the fact that we should tolerate it because the parents aren't enforcing it with their children too. And my child now has to go, that's okay. You're allowed to be a T-Rex. Like, that's allowing my child to have mental disabilities too now because it's allowing that in its psyche. It's
My
not
son's a
okay.
Rottweiler.
So
You know what I mean?
so you're not getting the point here. People have mental disabilities, right? So in growing up in my school, we had an entire department for the children with mental disabilities. There was a 24-year-old that graduated high school the same year I did. Okay. So
Shit, I'm a Triceratops. I'll fuck a T-Rex up.
This
okay,
is what I mean. They're
great.
causing,
So
they're
no,
causing
I'm not
a
done with my
mental
point
disease.
yet. I'm not done with my point yet. So my point is what they're teaching is kindness and tolerance. Okay, so if someone says, "Hey, I identify as a T-Rex," right? That's obviously not a normal thing. Now, not accepting tolerance of that is mean. It's going to affect the people around that person. And
Wait, so it sounds like your children are being taught to be weak.
No,
So
it's
if
you
they're-
no,
should
it's
accept
how is
disability.
kindness and acceptance weak?
Wait.
Accept the disabled.
Yeah, we should just accept that people are running around thinking they're attack helicopters and frogs.
Accept the
we
disabled,
should
yes.
run around accepting
Right.
people for who they are and
Accept
not
disabilities.
accept disability.
That's not
Thank
who they
you. Thank you. Accept disabilities. Thank you very much. That's what I'm
Accept
saying.
that they are
Actually, you
disabled.
shouldn't accept
Everybody
disabilities
wait.
because
That's
disabilities
not-
can be corrected.
So what do you
That's not a real
That's
disability.
not how that's not
People are
reality.
imperfect.
Disabilities cannot be corrected. What are you talking about?
My
That's
point
Whatever.
is this is
This
okay.
is
In your
spicy
time,
here.
in my generation, this is disability, whatever you want to call it, never happened, did not exist.
Yes,
This is
it did.
something that's been made up and pushed upon for people to believe they're a T-Rex. I had nobody in my school believing they were a T-Rex or wanted to be one.
And neither
or some
you don't know
crazy
one
stuff.
now. Like you don't know one
Yeah,
that
but
thinks
since
that
we're
they're a
talking about
T-Rex. You're
disabled
using that as an
people now.
example.
These are disabled
I have
people.
met right people right now, and literally my niece's school, they do this.
Yeah, but they're disabled.
Right? I must accept them. Now, wait, now here's the next question. Am I supposed to accept now that a pedophile, right, is going to go, well, this, I like children. We all need love. Oh, I'm
Who-
accept that too. Tolerate that as well, right?
That has
When is
never
the
been said.
toleration?
Listen, you're
No,
creating
I
problems
know
that
you
don't
didn't.
exist.
No,
You're
I
a
didn't say
victim
you
of a
said it, by the
problem that
way.
it doesn't exist. Like that
I
you're
did not say that you said that. My point is the next thing that we are supposed to
Yeah, man,
tolerate
come
is
on.
the mental psyche,
Seriously.
right? Mental disease is that or something else.
Look at
There's
Isaac.
certain things you shouldn't, is my point.
no.
Look at Isaac in the Bible.
Oh God.
Well, I mean that's a if you open that can of worms, it's pretty man.
There's a lot of things we can let's bring up slavery in the
yeah,
Bible
then
too.
you'll
Let's
get
do
into the
that.
Bible and how they
Which
were
is
all
why we
little
need to get
kids.
rid of
It's
that
crazy.
book.
I'm just saying. That's a can of worms.
Okay, I can stick to the point that where he's trying to. I can stick to this thing about the schools where he's saying that his children aren't being taught to do that. But how do you know? You really don't know. And if they're being taught acceptance, like, okay, well, these people are okay, they're normal, there's nothing wrong with them, just accept them for, for their view or for what they
No,
believe.
no one said they're ever normal. So
Yeah,
take
except
that
they're
take that out of that
disabled.
sentence, please.
Well,
Except that
this
they're
is not how
retarded.
it's. This is not how it's being taught in schools because they're
You're
going
wrong.
behind. I don't know how it is now because there've been a lot of things
You-
brought to Congress, but I
So
know.
well,
I know-
I hate to
well,
interrupt
hang
you.
on,
I
because-
hate to interrupt you, but like honestly, you just said this is how it's being done, but I don't know if this is how it's being done. So you can't say you
I
can't
said now
right.
because things have been brought to Congress, and a lot of people they're having hearings on stuff like this, and a lot of issues have been brought up. Parents are not going along with it. No one likes it, right? So I'm not going to say no one. I guess the ones that are doing, that want to be that way, that want their children to be that way, like it. But when it first
The
started
parents
happening,
should take them
they
out
were
if they don't
doing
like
it.
it.
They were doing it behind the kids' backs, and not only were they doing it behind the kids' backs, but when they would get home, if their parents tried to correct their thinking, because this is way deep into the faulty thinking. When their parents tried to correct their thinking, they would try to take their kids from them and do social services
But
and
why don't the
put them in a
parents
home where
take
they
the
would
You're
reaffirm
going to
it
need to
or
provide
whatever.
some kind of an
hold
article
on,
for
hold on.
that.
If that's happening, why don't the parents take their child out of that school?
That's not the issue, sin cleanser.
Yes, it
That
is.
is
Well, I
not the
would
point.
if the teacher was telling my kids something disgusting, I would take them out of there.
Well, cool, but that's not the point.
Exactly.
It's not what we're talking about.
So what
No,
you're
we're
what
not
you're
talking
talking about what you're talking about is something like I literally have children in all ages of the school system, in high school, middle school, and preschool. Okay? None of that is being taught the way that you're saying it is. Okay, maybe it's a regional thing.
Yep.
Maybe it's a regional thing. Perfect. So I'm in Massachusetts, the most liberal
Okay.
fucking state you'll live in. Okay, and that is not true. So what I need from anybody who states
Right.
otherwise is to provide some kind of a article or
Something,
anything
right.
that would support that.
I
What-
think that it may have been happening, honey, around, and I could be wrong. This is why I'm not going to state as a fact, in Massachusetts as well, or somewhere around your area. But it didn't happen in every state. Certain states were going through it, and others weren't. Now, here's the issue: if you wanted to pull your child out of that school, I get you, but it was going to be basically all around you then, and your school system that was being taught in your curriculum and being pushed. Now, the best thing you can do is take your child out of that school system and put them in a private school. Most people didn't have the money for that, so it's either pick up your job, pick up your
Or
house, pick up
homeschool.
everything and leave
Homeschool 'em.
state, right? Or homeschool. But most people, most parents have,
Well,
don't
that's
even
why
know
the
school
families
anymore.
are important.
what I
You need
mean?
a father
Yeah.
and a mother in a house to raise a kid.
Yeah, but both mother and father need to work a full-time job
Correct.
just to pay the note.
Yep.
Well, somebody's
So
got to
most
work and
can't
somebody's
teach
got to
their
look for the
children
kid,
even.
or they're going to
It
have to
doesn't work
learn
like that
this other
anymore.
stuff.
Not everybody can have triple or
And
$300,000 fucking paychecks.
Dude, I
a
guarantee
year.
you in the court systems today, there are women that make child support that have no father in the house whatsoever. And these women are raising kids and taking them to any school they want to take them to.
maybe.
Well, here's something that's for
Maybe.
They're also
Go
getting
ahead.
subsidized
here.
housing.
Yeah,
Well,
and there's no
here's something
father.
that
and
We
there's
don't get
being paid for.
subsidized housing. Well, where's my subsidized housing?
Well,
Go ahead.
You're a
here's
man
something
and
that
you're white. You don't get any.
How dare you think
here's
I'm white?
something-
That's white. That's your
My
privilege.
last name is Quartus.
Well, my.
Here. Truth is
here's something. Here. No, I didn't even realize that's kind of what I was saying. But here's something that
There's
is
no
being
here
taught.
without an air.
Here is something that is being taught in all the school systems that is not true and has not been verified or established to be fact, but yet it's being taught like very, very dogmatically, might I say, right? That the earth is a globe, and there's no evidence for that anywhere. It's never
That's
been measured to
false.
be so.
True. That's a very that's a harmless one. Well, not harmless because there's problems with that.
No,
But,
it's
you know,
you're
not
right.
as crazy
it
as
isn't harmless
pedophilia or
because it's
something.
fact. But anywho,
Wait, are you saying that telling people that they live on a ball is not harmless?
Super dangerous. Yep.
Is
No,
harmless?
but that's a lot better than pedophilia. you
Agreed.
know. Holy crap, that's
Agreed.
way
It
better.
might
I
cause
could
it.
tolerate that a little bit because I can talk I don't have a kid, but I could talk them out of it because these
Yeah,
guys
but
are
this is the
retards.
thing. So since the majority of people believe they live on a ball, they allow pedophilia.
Yep. I was going to say that. Thank
What?
you.
what?
Okay, well here,
how
back
do
to that.
those
Here's
two
one
things come?
One last
like-
point. One last point. This is crazy because you guys aren't thinking about this. In Tennessee, the problem with a lot of these schools is that when the kids come to school, the children, it's like they've been sexualized by their parents. Okay, and that's
Oh,
not
yeah.
often talked about. But
Mhm.
I'm telling you, here in Tennessee, the teachers are saying, well, a lot of this sexual stuff comes from their parents, and we can't really do much about that because we can only teach them different. It's a really crazy. Yeah, I mean that's
We're
the
living in a messed
that's
up
the
time,
South
honey.
for you,
That's-
but
Hold on,
yeah.
I'm still trying to grasp the globe equals pedophilia. I don't
yeah,
understand
that was
that.
also retarded.
Can you?
Listen. It's a globe problem. That's what the problem is. It's a globe issue. Here's the issue, though. If people were not told this information, they may be more in touch with who they are and not sidetracked to this, I don't know, Narnia of they come from nothing. They actually might care that there's consequences of what they do in life and everything. There might be more of a spiritual side to them if they didn't believe in the globe. Now, people can say, oh, that can't be true, but you can actually maybe test that out back and forth. And I think that you might see that. I'm not saying it's pedophilia or any of that, but, you know, just negativity, any of it, all the
So-
crap. But
so
people
you
are
do
going to do
realize-
bad things, flat or globe, right?
So
We know that.
Pedophilia is way worse than flat Earth or globe.
So you mentioned Narnia. You do understand that Narnia is a flat Earth, right?
That's the kingdom you're talking about.
Anywho, yeah, the being taught the globe Earth and pedophilia, they're completely different things. Pedophilia
I
is
think
a
everybody
sickness.
agrees.
Okay,
We
perfect.
agree.
I'm sorry, but that's
Um,
incorrect.
the
because
globe Earth-
everything in this world is connected.
No,
So
no.
Oh, we got an ether
contrary,
guy.
Called a web.
Holy
Yeah.
Lord.
contrary to to like the debunking and the anti-flat earther videos that get pushed to the top due to the algorithms who want to try to say that we're people who look into flat earth are cult members.
Misinformation.
Contrary to that, it's not misinformation, but contrary to that claim, it's not a cult. And so you're going to get different opinions and different viewpoints from different individuals. No one agrees on everything. It matters of fact, the only one thing that people who look into flat earth and claim to be the term flat earther agree on is that it's not a globe. Like their version and how they view the earth and how they might think everything operates and the connections they make between the two, like that's each individual person's viewpoint.
And you
Like,
don't
you'll
see a
have
problem
different
with that?
ones. I don't. You
Well,
know
flat
why I don't
earthers
see
agree
a
on
problem with that?
something.
You want to know why I don't see a problem with that? Because a lot of this stuff has not been verified, and so
Like what?
to look into it and try to figure out the nature of the world and how it works is it's a work in progress.
Like what?
These are things that are going to have to be overcome one at a time.
Name one.
I believe that there is one sin that causes a generational curse. It's the only thing that'll cause a curse.
Oh man, here we go.
Oh, Joshua.
Public apology. Never apologize for the things that you've done,
First off,
no
Joshua.
matter who,
Can
no matter whose feelings are hurt.
Joshua, real story here. Can you please? I'm going to be going to bed in about 20 minutes. Can you please read a bedtime story for me? Because your voice is so fucking nice.
Your voice gets into my head. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
I just want I want you to
It's
sing me to
not
sleep.
my voice that gets into your head. It is my mind that
No,
bleeds
no,
into
it's your
reality.
voice. No, it's your voice. No, trust me. I know facts
Well, I
and
heard
I
that
know
my voice
empirical
goes
evidence.
right to the clit.
Oh my god. Oh, I don't even have a clit, and I felt it.
Shit, you guys are off the chain. That's too much.
How did you get inside my brain?
Because I am you.
So I have a question. I don't know if you guys know me, but I've been here a few times. I know Gio knows me. I'm looking for people to talk to on Friday nights. Now, I'm not looking to debate. I'm looking to more just have a conversation with, because I don't want to. I'm not in a state to debate people. But I would love truth because you seem to have this way about you that is very is different than other flat earthers. Would you be interested in being part of my show on Friday nights called The Drunk Debunk Show? It's on YouTube and Twitch on Friday nights starting at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. Would you be interested in just having a conversation with me?
Sounds like a setup.
It's not.
Drunk debunk, like that doesn't even sound appealing.
The
name
Drunk
of it
Debunk
What
Show?
a waste of time.
Listen, I'm 12 truly.
Wait, are you a
right
glober
now.
or a flat
Debunk.
earther? Are you a glober or a flat earther?
Who, me?
Yeah, you're
What-
the debunker,
What
right?
do you think? What do you think I am?
I don't know you from Adam, dude.
Dude, I'm okay. Now, I
There's
Yeah,
no
but
way
let's
to
just say,
Glover, that
let's
might
just
be
say, let's just
bad.
say that we spent the last 6 hours of the night laughing at Witsit when he was debating Professor Dave. So I'll let
Well, I
you.
laugh at Witsit, but I'm still a flat earther. That's the thing.
Really?
Yeah, I think. Yeah,
Hey,
but like
Witsit
I'm
is
not.
Nathan the Hole.
Yeah, well, I think he's hilarious,
Is
but I
he?
still think the Earth is
Is
flat.
he? Is that because he agreed to go to Antarctica?
No, it's because he's a flat earther. Like, it's probably the only thing I agree with him on.
All right. Yeah, that's fair. Can I? Well, I mean, Sun Cleanser. I mean, would you want to talk to me?
Why can't you tell her if you're a Glober or not? Because you're gonna debunk
No,
her on
I'm
your
100%
show?
a Glober. So here's the thing.
Okay,
Is that
so you're gonna
yeah, sure, okay.
drunkly debunk
Now hold
truth
on,
because
hold on.
Wow.
Now I
Set
want
up.
to. No, don't fucking poison the well, okay? Because you don't know what my show is about. Now
There's
what?
a
Maybe she
snake
didn't
in
know
my
what she
boot.
would have walked into, but I think she was suspicious anyway.
Now okay, if
Wait,
Truth doesn't want to
wait,
do
are
it,
you
then
drunk
that's
on
fine.
your show?
Oh,
Are you drunk on your show?
He's a
I mean,
drunk Glober. I mean,
I'm 12 Trulies in, so you tell me. Now I
Okay,
just got done
so
with my
your
show.
show is about a drunk guy.
Well, he's trying to
Well,
say
I mean-
more about it. So just
Yeah,
just
let me
him
let me
talk for a
let me
minute.
explain
Sell
what
it to us.
direction let me explain the direction I want to take my show in. Okay, now first it started off with ghost videos like that Nuke would upload or slapped him or whatever. We used to debunk ghost videos, whatever. And then we decided that we're gonna move more towards the more readily available, like because I wasn't able to do the research and stuff, because of life and kids and work and all that kind of stuff that was necessary to be able to, have all these things. Now, the flat earth, there's a plethora of content with the flat earth, right? There's debates all the time. They're on YouTube that we could just watch and all that kind of stuff and enjoy together. Now, what I want to do is I actually, last week, I just interviewed Will Duffy on the final experiment, which was really cool. It was really cool to have a guest on the show that wasn't someone from my community. Now, I love my community. I love having them on my show. However, I would love to have a certified flat earther on my show to talk to. Okay, not debate. Like I need to make that incredibly clear. I don't want to debate. I want to just have a conversation with to get the ideas.
And you're drunk
that,
while you're having a conversation. Right? You're
exactly,
drunk.
exactly. Thank you
Now-
for understanding.
Now, hold on. Now, that is so ironic because I've been to a bar and there's no such thing as a conversation while you're drunk.
I mean,
You know, I don't
I
think
believe
certified
that
yet.
with you, sir. I believe that's a fact with you. But with someone like Sin Cleanser or Truth Prevails, you guys seem like level-headed people who can hold a
Well, I
I
conversation.
see.
think-
Here's
yeah,
the
hold on,
problem.
hold on,
Here's
hold
the
on.
problem.
I
though,
think
but
he doesn't have a
listen,
lot of
So here's the thing.
experience with
So
flat
since you're the one drinking, right? You're not actually going to learn anything.
Well,
So there's no conversation to be had.
Well, there's nothing to
what
learn.
it is what it is yeah, you drinking and then laughing at some people that you think are wrong.
Why do you think I'm laughing?
You just said a little while ago that you spent your whole time laughing at Witsit during some debate.
Yeah, because he's
Oh, you did
hilarious.
say that, yeah.
But why don't you like put up a link to one of your shows or something so people can have
I'll
a
put a
look?
link
and
to
then
Hey,
ask
tonight's
so
show.
let's
if
do
they wanna
this.
be
Why
involved.
don't you try being sober while you look into this stuff?
Well, while I look into it, dude, what do
Yeah,
you think?
because you can't, right?
I
Because
only-
you can't.
Okay,
it
how
hurts
about
too
you?
much.
How about you stop right there? Okay, let's let
Oh,
you
I'll
cool
stop.
off for a minute.
What? Am I hurting your feelings? Are we getting there?
You're
It's getting
hurting my
close, isn't it?
feelings.
It is. Yeah, I can see it.
Oh,
Actually,
okay,
I can't see it.
buddy.
I can hear it.
Oh yeah. Oh,
That laugh gave it away.
Stop hurting my
Here and last
feelings.
song.
Oh,
Mike,
you're
this is
hurting
what
me.
you were looking
Destroyed.
for.
Yeah, kind
I
of.
mean,
I
it might
guess.
be a good opportunity.
Well, this
to
is
get some
why
more
this is
flat
What's
earth
going
out
on?
this is literally
Just
why
couldn't
I
get it
said
out.
that this guy was not going to be.
Well,
fit
we
for
have
the
a
show.
drunk guy in here. That's the problem.
I mean, am
And
I the only one who's
you
drunk?
don't
Really?
learn anything when people are drunk. You learn nothing.
What if you got a drunk Glober and a drunk flat earther?
Oh my God, that would be fantastic.
Who's the drunk guy?
There
Then
you
we
go.
get
I don't think
Cowboys
he-
and Indians.
I don't think he's drunk right
Then
now.
it's an
He's got a
equal playing
show,
field.
some kind of drunk
No,
debunk show.
it's
Well, I have to.
Right.
Remember
I
the
just
Alamo?
I just posted a link to it in the live stream chat.
And actually, I think
We
he
need
did
to-
say he was drunk.
I'm 12
Are you-
Trulies in, so I am
You called him witless or
witless.
witless.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, see,
Great.
he is
He is.
drunk.
Trulies, that's
How
pretty
can I
gay.
tell? Like the contrast, it's hard to get contrast because there's been so many drunk people in here tonight.
Really? I'm not the only drunk person that's been in here.
Been like
Yeah,
most
they
of the
get
people in
kicked
here
out.
talking tonight's been drinking.
So,
Well,
if
isn't that
you're
what you
like
do on
Chris-
Friday nights, though? I think it's Friday night.
excuse me.
Why would we talk about flat Earth?
trying to
So
Wait,
mod.
who's trying to talk?
I
Who's trying
think-
to
I
talk?
don't understand.
Wait,
Trying to
well,
mod,
let's
I'm
not.
about to start meeting
Elbow,
people.
elbows trying to get in here, guys.
I need to calm down, take it one at a time. I just got in here, and all I hear is a lot of disruptiveness. So if y'all don't know how to calm down, I'm gonna start meeting people and kicking out people that cannot, or timing out people that cannot be cordial. Please.
Well, we're at the climax of the party. I think this is about as.
Are
wacky
you
No,
as
you
it'll
did
saying
get.
just
that
get in
I'm the
here, but
climax?
it was going okay. You just arrived at a moment. So
The party's been popping.
All right, sweet. So let's get it back to normal and continue on with the conversation. Would really like to hear somebody speak about something interesting today. Let's go.
Me too.
Well, I just posted something interesting.
Well, okay, here's what's on the table. This guy is a glober, and he makes debunk videos of flat earthers where he calls them witless. And we don't
While
know if
he's
it's
drunk.
a setup. or
That was
not.
a
Dude, why are
typo.
you a Glober? That's like so 1990s.
Hey, Mike, let me ask you this: Are you the one that drinks? You have the show that drinks while you try to debunk flat Earth?
I mean, debunk false claims. Yes, it doesn't matter if it's flat Earth or 9/11 or this or that, or the flat or the moon landing. I do it all.
Hey, yeah, I heard you here the last time you were here.
do you know how stupid that show is? Listen, seriously. You're like, okay, so basically the premise is I'm drunk and you were stupid. What?
Isn't that
And the
great
Earth's a
content
globe.
though? Like that's so much fun.
Oh my god.
So, Mike,
Mike,
did you ever get to the
fast
bottom? Did you ever get to the bottom of 9/11?
No.
When you're-
Listen, I know
No,
that.
I want to know because I sent you about I don't know several links.
You did.
Right?
Yes.
And did you ever watch all the hours of stuff that I sent you?
I gotta be
No,
honest,
you
man.
did not. You didn't. I know you didn't.
Like
Because-
I watched a lot of it.
No, so you did not. Watch it
So
all.
no, let me
right?
tell you. Can you stop putting words in my mouth and let me answer you?
Just said I watched a lot of it.
Yeah, I watched a lot of it because, and the reason why I stopped doing it was because you had sent me so much information in so many different directions to look into and research that it became overwhelming for what I was trying, what my personal life, like if the
Yeah,
Drunk
so
Debunk show was my entire life, like if I didn't have a day job, if I didn't have a baby, if I didn't have teenagers that I had to take care of, then absolutely I would put the 12 hours per day that I needed into the research of all the shit that you sent me, which was all I don't like I don't want to listen. Okay, you weren't the only one who sent me stuff. Okay, I got a lot of videos. Okay, I got about 18 hours worth of footage for people to have me look into. Okay, it wasn't just you that sent me stuff. Now, all of these different videos sent me down so many different rabbit holes, I didn't even know where to begin. And I thought that it was going to be a simple subject, but like it just wasn't. And that's why I had to put a stop to it, because there was just so much work that I would have to put into it. So I don't want you to think I don't want you to
Never did a drunk debunk on 9/11, Deb.
I did do a Drunk Debunk on 9/11.
Look,
There
you
is an
couldn't
episode
have.
of
It's impossible because if you didn't go down all the rabbit holes and you don't know all the information. how
Did you
could
watch
debunk it?
Did you watch that
No, I
episode of
would-
9/11 of my 9/11 Drunk Debunk show?
No, sir.
And you know what the problem is,
Well,
man,
that
is
well that you would understand if you watched that episode, then you would understand
I
that
just need to
I
talk
had to
you.
stop.
I just need to talk to you.
Like,
to
you know
know.
what the problem is that it takes more than one brain cell. And while you're drunk, you can't. Like,
What was that? I heard
he
more
said it
than one
takes
brain
more-
cell
he
than
said it-
giggles.
Yeah, because when you're drunk, you can only use one because you're drunk, I guess. So
Yeah,
Mike,
that's
do you see?
not how that works.
Well, listen. Do you see why, like, how it might be hard to get someone to come on your show when that's the theme? Like, I don't know who would. Like, anyone. I guess. Well, I probably shouldn't say that, but let me just say, anyone in their right mind wouldn't do it. So maybe you can find someone to do it, but I don't know.
Well, that's
Just
why
Yeah,
I'm
it's really
here. Was 'cause-
impossible to take you seriously.
So what would it take for you to take me seriously? To agree with flat Earth?
Yeah, sober up.
$1 million.
So I'm sorry. Do I not sound sober right now?
I want
Sounds
you
are
to snort this
deceiving.
cocaine on camera.
I'm sorry. What?
I want you to snort this cocaine on camera.
I have never done cocaine in my entire life.
We're gonna have to blackmail you somehow.
First time for everything.
Okay. First time for everything, my friend.
I
What
don't
is
even
so-
know what
so?
that
It's called
was.
So
equity.
what
We
you're
need
saying?
equity.
So what you're saying is that okay, this guy has a beer or two while streaming his drunk debunk show, which is the only reason why it's alliteration, guys. Right? Drunk debunk. Right? It kind of like it rhymes. Okay. I was looking for something catchy.
12 Trulies tonight.
Yeah, well, that doesn't mean you're drunk. It's taking me
Officer,
8
officer.
hours to
I'd be
drink these
shit-faced.
12
I
Trulies. It
would
takes
be
an hour.
shit-faced, man.
Well, then you're a lightweight, bro. I could drink you under the table. Like,
So you're an
Yeah, I don't
alcoholic.
drink.
Even better.
I'm not.
I only drink on Friday nights
boozer.
for the drunk debunk show.
Do the cocaine first.
I
Well,
don't
hold on,
drink.
Mike.
I don't
Here's
really
the thing. I think
cry.
you're being misrepresented, but I want to
Correct.
speak for some. I don't think you talk to a lot of flat earthers. Most flat earthers talk about this shit 12 hours a day on Discord.
Yep.
I don't think you have had a lot of conversations with flat earthers. I don't think you actually have talked to a lot of them.
You know what? I'm gonna say that you're right, and I haven't talked to a lot of them. However, I've seen people talking to them. Now,
Yeah, but I'm telling you, on the Discord, people talk about flat Earth 12 hours a day, dude. So these guys, you're just unfamiliar with it. So it's like a
So-
kind
so
of a
wait,
thing for you.
so the globe
I
is a
mean,
religion.
We literally spent like 16
Yes.
hours one day talking about 9/11. And
So-
you can't even do 18 hours of research.
I can't.
The number one
Yeah,
proof
so
I can
like,
give you.
so like,
is
So-
water.
so what-
just
what-
like, just
so-
like, 30 of us in here can spend 16 hours discussing the intricacies of 9/11, but you can't do 18 hours of independent research over a week.
Over a week.
And
You
and
understand
then
you
make-
understand
then you make a
you
show.
understand that I can't even respond to my mother's texts because of how busy I am, right?
Don't cry.
you're not,
Stop.
no, you're not busy,
Stop.
bro. Shut up. Like, you're not busy.
Oh, I'm
That's
not
why
busy.
he's
Oh,
green.
okay. I'm
Your
not
time
busy.
your time
Relax.
management
I
and
don't
your
have a 2-year-old son. Okay, all right. I don't have a
I
full
dude, I
time
have
job.
three-
Oh,
I have
right. You're
3
right.
Kids. I have 3 kids and a full-time job and a wife.
Oh,
okay?
congratulations.
You're not impressing anybody with that.
I'm
Dude,
not.
people listen
I'm
to
not
Flat Earth
looking-
because it's fun to
It's
listen
called
to.
time
It's just
management
people have
skills.
time to do it.
It's called
That's
time
it.
management skills.
Dude,
and-
are you speaking from a fucking submarine right
Hey,
now?
Ben,
By the
can I get
way,
an apple pie?
Yeah, it sounds kind of
Hey,
radar
Ben,
like.
can I get
Yes, we are
fries too?
speaking from submarines.
Say what? Snacks.
I just have I have a coupon code for Ben. If he could just, it's for 2 free cheeseburgers.
wait, we're giving away cheeseburgers.
Well, McDonald's actually sells
get
human
all the
meat.
drunk people that way.
Oh,
No, you
right.
just go back
Let's revolve around back. Let's go back
So
to
I just need some extra barbecue sauce.
the human meat.
How much of it is vaccinated? Who knows?
Oh my god, you don't want those fucking nanobots in here.
We're not allowed to ask certain questions.
Those Bluetooth signals our vaccinations are giving off.
It's, science has said you can't think about that. We're going to tell you what to think instead.
You say that as if, like, I get the impression that you don't think nanobots are real.
Oh, I believe nanobots are real. However,
Okay.
I think it's
This guy watches
ridiculous that people
Transformers.
think that they're giving nanobots in the vaccinations.
Do they have the spark? The all spark?
Okay, do you think that there's iron in meat? Do
Yes.
you think maybe iron has sort of radio electric qualities of some sort, maybe?
You understand that you
Do you
have to
think
have
maybe
iron
if
in your
there's
body.
Wi-Fi and there's energy and maybe it's not so ridiculous?
Iron is
You
in
did
your
it.
blood. And if you don't have enough iron,
You know,
you become
iron has
anemic.
electromagnetic reactionary qualities, right?
Are you kidding?
Okay,
Are you
you
kidding?
do realize that the vaccines and the whole COVID thing, it's even being examined in hearings at Congress right now, and they're even looking in and asking the questions about why these gain of function things have like altered DNA and things that can change your DNA is wrapped in the proteins so that your body will accept it into its DNA. Like they realize and they got down like into the papers of it and saw where it was first produced as a bioweapon, and then they find out that this is a thing that was released on the public. So you do this isn't just some fringe just nuts on the internet coming up with these things, right? This is a legitimate concern that even congressmen are having, and they're having hearings about it. Although I think most of that is theater anyway.
You keep glossing over where that's located. Where is this happening?
Okay, listen, you can look it up on YouTube. You can look up
No, I'm not going to look up anything on YouTube. I'm going to look up articles in online. So can you please tell me?
Slow down just for a second, because when I say you can look it up on YouTube, what I'm referring to that you could look up is you've got a channel on YouTube, House Committee hearings, where you can listen to everything that's said.
You missed out. You skipped that out again. So is House Committee what?
Hearings.
The congressional committee hearings that they have. You can listen to everything, all their witnesses,
Where though?
testimonies.
Dude, told you, but you're drunk.
I cannot understand what she's saying. What was she saying?
Well, I mean, I heard every single word she said.
Awesome. I'm so happy for you.
You can look it up on YouTube. I said you can look it up on YouTube, and you got triggered because it's YouTube, and you're just like, no, can I have some, not some YouTube video, but this is the congressional hearings that they put on
okay.
YouTube. Yes, congressional hearings.
And you should, what exactly?
Really, over COVID, over Fauci, over the vaccines, like you should really listen to a lot of those hearings if you haven't listened to them.
And you should also consider that we eat iron and magnesium. That's electromagnetic chemicals in our bodies that are affected by the environment. Thank you.
Here, I'll post a link for you.
It takes more than 30 minutes to look at those stuff, and I don't think you got the brain cells for that.
I don't think he has brain cells to use.
I'm only 5 bottles deep, so I think I have enough brain cells for it. Is that okay? Can I just drink 5 bottles a day and then talk?
Do you guys
about
think
that?
different blood types react to the 5G differently?
Beer hops.
5G? Oh, no.
If you're like a negative, do you react to the 5G differently than B negative or something?
Snacks, you're hot micing.
So 5G is just a radio wave.
It's like an ocean of energy.
You understand?
It's like an ether, kind of.
You
like,
understand that a light bulb gives off more. You understand that a light bulb gives off higher frequency waves than 5G does.
All I'm simply saying is that in our blood we have iron and magnesium. And we have a lot of other electromagnetic reactionary chemicals in our blood, and that may react somehow to our environment outside our body.
Okay, okay, it may react. Where's like that's what does that even mean?
Like the temperature, they're saying it's really hot outside.
Yeah.
I wonder what that'll do.
Okay, well you can go down to the PDF research room that's down below this room, and there's a lot of PDFs in there. Look for the one where it has the effect of the EMF effects on the human body. There's all kinds of different ones, right? So one is biological effects, one is psychological effects, one is EMF effects, and so forth. But just grab all of those and look at those, but that's not all of them. That's just the ones.
I
that's
bet
been
people
posted
feel
in this server.
tired. I bet people feel angry. I bet people.
But you can grab the link. I posted it in the text chat. The House Committee on the Judiciary.
Wait, where is it?
Channel.
You said PDF resources.
Yeah, there PDF research. There's a room down there with a lot of PDFs in it. You can find. There's some of them that's down there. like some of them though we can't even post because of the title. You know, due to the censorship, we can't even share some information because it's censored. So
What does that tell you?
Nothing they haven't
it
told
tells
us
me a lot,
before.
dude. It tells me a lot.
That it's, you know, misinformation and is dangerous to, you know.
No,
Hey,
you're not allowed
Mike.
to think
What?
certain ways. Certain
Okay.
things
Mike.
are illegal.
Hey, Mike.
Okay, well, hold
Wait,
on just a
wait.
second.
Hold on.
Are you
I
saying that
got
there's
this.
information that's dangerous? So what? It should be what, censored?
Yeah, it should
Okay,
be.
well,
Yeah, yeah.
So if
You
let,
can't
let
if
read
me.
if you were if your
guys.
children
Come
were
on.
being taught that it's okay to murder people by YouTube videos, would you want that to be censored or no?
Hey, Mike, I want you to do me a favor, okay? Because
Yeah.
you and I have always had like cordial conversation. So type into your browser right now, okay? Into your search browser, type in PMC 7309322.
Right. PMC 730. What was the rest?
9322.
Oh, look at that. It came up
And
as
then
I recommended.
you click on the National Center for Biotechnology. Okay? You click on that link and then you go read that.
So if you
And
listen
then
to those
you can come
hearings,
back to us.
so if you listen to those hearings, you can scroll through those hearings and you can find the ones on COVID, Fauci, and different ones. But here's the thing about this misinformation. Right? They've been censoring a lot of people due to religious views. They've been censoring a lot of people due to their political views. And they were even censoring the congressmen themselves when they were trying to do research and share information about COVID. And nobody could type COVID or put anything that had COVID or vaccines, no matter who you were. Right? It was getting taken down. Anything that goes against mainstream. And then now they're discovering that these concerns that people had were legitimate concerns. That
Yes.
there was a gain of function that was sought, that it was produced in a lab, and it was a bioweapon, and it has been released onto the public. And there's also doctors that are going to, like, what was it? I think it was in the state of Tennessee. A doctor came and talked to them at their hearings that they were having for the state hearings, the state committee hearings, and he was bringing up the fact that they had edible vaccines and that they could spray foods with vaccines. and he was asking, like, should we inform the public? Right? He was
It's
asking,
in the
should
water.
we
It's in the air.
do
Oh shit.
to inform? He was asking, do we need to pass legislation
Can I tell you something on
requiring?
that?
Oh, can you let me finish?
Well, you asked.
You have been cutting into everybody, and I'm getting really aggravated with it. He was bringing it. He was wanting to know, should we pass legislation so that when they spray these foods with vaccines, that we inform the public. They weren't asking, should we spray these on the foods. They were asking, should we tell the public when we do spray these onto the foods? Now, you can look all this stuff up yourself if you want to.
And those
Yeah,
were
they've
all
had
great questions.
this
Thank
open
you.
conversations.
No, he's laughing in the background. I don't know. I think he's
No,
trying
it
to
really
get
doesn't
content.
matter
I'm
if
not
he's
laughing.
laughing, right?
I'm
I'm
crying.
having a great time. So you're saying that they're spraying vaccinations on food?
Edible vaccines are GMOs.
So you're saying that
Ever heard of Monsanto,
GMOs
bro?
are vaccinations?
Think about it,
I'm having a
Monsanto.
very hard time understanding.
He's the guy that would have been laughing about how Monsanto wasn't actually, spraying Roundup onto the foods 12 years ago.
Just look at the Tennessee state hearings. Look at the Tennessee state
No,
hearings
I
and
mean,
type
like
in.
Okay, I will.
this is the kind of person we're dealing with right now, right?
Wait, hold on.
you'll find
I have a lot of things freaking bookmarked here. All right, I can't go over all this stuff in 1 second. All right, so Tennessee state hearings. All right. Is this?
The reason I don't spray vaccines onto plants is the liquid vaccines they normally inject you with will get destroyed by your stomach acid. So the idea of edible vaccines,
Hold on just a second.
So
the whole point of edible vaccines is they're a GMO, they're a genetically modified crop that has the ability to vaccinate you as part of your diet.
So where
Well, hold on.
what?
It was the wrong state. It was the wrong state, Mike. It's South Carolina.
So
South
Well, they're
Carolina
also
was the
not
one that had
actual
that hearing.
vaccines.
yeah, care
It's just poison that they
it's just
label
poison.
as a vaccine.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
want
well,
to
there's
they want to
also
poison the
vaccine.
population. So South Carolina, what was it? Hearings on the vaccine.
Hold on. I'll just send you a link. I'll DM it to
Please.
you.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, make sure everybody doesn't post anything that we're talking about. Just heads up again. Don't forget. And Dress, go ahead, sweetheart. I'm even trying to get in.
No. I mean, I find it weird that people kind of say it's a poison. I mean, I think the concept that the health profession in general, yes, you can point to some very specific things that America has done to their population and other countries have done to their population that was particularly nasty, but not in recent history. The liability of any company involved where you could actually show it's poison, like the tobacco industry had back in the sort of 90s and early 2000s, and even up to today for being sued, would be ridiculous. Where's the benefit in poisoning people?
What's the
So
number
Roundup
one
didn't do
What's the
that.
number one cause of death in the healthcare profession?
Hospitals.
That'd be
Snacks or hot knocking.
that'd be heart disease.
No, that would be from medical professionals treating people according to their own ethic.
Okay. All right, let's look this up. All right. Leading cause of death. Are we going to go globally or US?
I think,
Whatever you
Mike,
want, Joe.
this is going to be sick people die somewhere. Quite a lot of them die in hospital.
No, the majority of people that are dying in a healthcare setting are dying from the treatment that's being given.
Okay, so the number one cause of death is cardiovascular disease. The second is cancer. The third is respiratory disease. The fourth is diabetes.
It's
So
not gonna
what?
be in the stats, Mike. This is they data.
Oh right, Oh right, my bad. Thank you for correcting me.
How are you backing that up, Benjamin?
Pulling it up. Just give me a second.
Yeah, so actually these things, so the heart disease or whatever it is, isn't the actual cause. It's when you go to the doctor and they try to fix it. That's when you die.
Yes.
Well, not even
Yes.
necessarily that. It's the food that they've already genetically modified that is full of also all this high fructose, all this bullshit that they put in these genetically modified corn syrups and shit that is causing these problems of heart disease because too many people are eating sugar. Sugar is causing heart problems.
So
And
what
then a lot of people drink, which causes heart problems, and they're blaming it on hereditary
So what
issues
is
and whatnot.
what does sugar
Can I
have to
say
do with
can I say something?
bioengineered? Like sugar is sugar. Like sugar's been around, for ever since creation. So
Absolutely. The number two things that you read off that are the number two things that cause is sugar. Cancer can't live without sugar, right?
no,
And heart disease
cardiovascular is not
mainly.
sugar. Cardiovascular is
Well,
not
you
sugar.
can think what you want.
Can I say something?
Go on.
Yeah, cardiovascular is sugar.
No, it's
Can I
fat
say something?
and
Actually,
cholesterol.
it's hold on. So it's the combination of sugars and quote unquote fats, oils that don't melt in the body. So if you look at a candy bar ingredients, it'll typically say the third ingredient is something like palm oil or palm fruit or some kind of palm derivative. Now, these palm oils, they don't actually melt at human body temperature. So when they get in you, they just kind of stick around.
Mm-hmm. And
It's
like
basically
my father died with his arteries all clogged. He had heart failure, cardiovascular. I understand this, and the coroner actually
Too many fried
I
foods.
thought it was fatty acids. I thought all that, and it ended up being sugar. Straight up told me it's sugar.
it's
Sugar
a
is
multi
literally clogging your arteries.
it's
Sugar
a
does not clog your
multi-pronged attack
arteries.
on the
What?
human race.
Someone was trying to get in and make a statement, and I didn't see who it was, but they've been really polite.
And I'm about to lose my rag. No,
Hey,
it's
go ahead, True.
it's a multi-pronged attack on the human race, like poisoning the food, poisoning the air, poisoning the water, poison in the alleged medical situation. That's just all it is. If you can't see that You know, there's too many people, they keep telling us, so they've got to try and wipe us out. The abortion industry, all of it, it's all about killing us. All of it.
Yeah,
Why?
here's from canohealth.com. When you consume excessive sugar, the extra calories are stored as triglycerides, and high level of triglycerides are a major risk factor for heart disease. And there you go.
You both, you're a great one. Thank you.
Yeah, but things like the cholesterol and blockage. So, I mean, when you look at the chemical makeup of a body, it's not like this equals that. It's kind of like this plus this divided by this to the square power of that will equal something. It's a much more complicated process than I think it's been given credit for. I don't think, having worked with medical practitioners, I don't think they're out to kill people.
Not on
And
No,
purpose.
I
I
would
mean,
I would say the doctors directly, the majority of them seek and want to do good, right? But it's the protocols and the school that they go to in order to get their degrees and the protocols that they have to follow. And they just like put the stuff in, like whatever symptoms they put them in, and it's like, okay, and it spits out this diagnosis they have. And then if they have a
Exactly.
diagnosis, and then if they have a diagnosis, they have protocols that they've got to follow. They can choose from those protocols, but they have a list of protocols, and all of this information and all these guidelines that they follow are handed down through the pharmaceutical companies. They're the ones that control all of that stuff. So, and when the pharmaceutical companies are the ones who stand to gain, it's a business. They make more money if people are sick. They make more money if people are ill. And like, it's really something you should really dig into. But here's my stance with you, because it doesn't really seem it doesn't it seems like you're just looking for entertainment, and you're not really looking to get to the truth. So for me personally, it's a waste of my time to try to to talk about anything or discuss anything. So it's like I really have no interest in discussing any of the truths with someone who's not interested in the truth. They're just
Truth.
interested
Yeah.
in either laughing about it, mocking them, or getting content for their show, or they just like ridicule and mock people, or just
who's that?
sitting here and ridicule people's ideas. Like, so
Well,
that's where I'm
the
at
fact
this
that
point.
somebody has a
So
show,
yeah,
the fact that somebody has a show called The Drunk Debunk, where
let me react to that.
Right. They should be thrown in an
Since that
acid
was
vat.
since that was directed towards me, so I'm going to respond to that. Truth. I am not out to mock people. Okay, I'm not
but you do.
out to make people look stupid.
He's just going to because he's a shit.
Can I talk?
Yeah,
Let
he's
him
not out
finish.
to mock people.
Can I talk?
He's just
Can I
mock
talk?
Let him finish.
So I'm not out, okay, to mock people and not make people look stupid. I leave that to the person speaking. Okay, no matter what position you take in any direction that my show takes, right? I let the person put themselves in that category, okay, of other people's interpretation. I, on the other hand, am not doing that. Okay, it's my show. I direct it. I say what I want to be, what I'm
Yay.
going to be interpreting the conversation as. Okay, now
Mike has
my
a show.
direction. Okay, I'm not done talking. So my direction is not to make people look stupid.
Wow.
Now, if you think that you are saying something stupid, then that's on you. Okay, that's not on
Aren't
me.
you
You said the
yourself
same,
look
same
stupid?
thing like 3 times over. I think that
Yeah.
probably is saying enough.
Because weren't you
Yeah, well,
just
there's
telling
not an
me
issue.
you were the one, but you didn't? I think you just were the one saying that it wasn't sugar, and then someone had to come and tell you how it was sugar. And if someone's watching this as
It's
a
still
show,
not
you're
sugar.
making
Like I looked it
yourself
up.
look
Like I
stupid.
have the
Nobody
article on my
else.
screen right now.
Stacy's
It's not
talking,
sugar.
bro.
It's
Stacy's
not
talking.
sugar.
She
You
wasn't
can't.
she wasn't finished yet. Everybody's gonna have to stop cutting in, stop clipping each other, and let everybody finish.
Agreed.
If you're coming in here to go back and forth and not to actually care about the information, like she was trying to say, and it's for a show for your people that are watching, and you're thinking that we're making ourselves look stupid, that's not what's happening here, sir.
I never said that.
But You can go ahead and record your show, because what's happening is the people watching are going to see the BS that you're pushing. So go ahead and have a nice day.
So I'm
Well, I
not
did
pushing any BS. The only BS that you think that I'm pushing is what you're saying. Like I'm not pushing any BS. Like what BS would I be pushing?
Mike has a show.
So, I mean, getting back to the point, going off the meta, because I don't really care about the meta.
Agreed, Dress.
The idea that pharmacy, again, maybe in America it's different. I didn't really use much healthcare out there. I'm a pretty fit individual. But in the UK, the protocols are not dictated by the pharmaceutical company. There is no put in X, Y, and Z and out comes drug A. That's not the way. That's not the way the medical system works over here.
Yeah, I was going to ask.
Who puts out the physician's desk references, and who prints the protocols, and who funds the colleges that they go to? Why don't you go to the school and then figure that out?
And sorry, I'd just like to reply, Mike, very quickly, and then I'll hand over. Not the pharmaceutical companies in the UK. The NHS is a publicly funded entity. It does its own research. It is completely open on its statistics. You can go and look at anything. They're all published by the Office of National Statistics, the ONS, in coordination with the NHS. We don't have the same methodology. The reason I didn't move to the US is because of your healthcare system and because of your employment laws.
But isn't the NHS system in itself, from me being there and going to these surgery centers and whatnot, from what I've witnessed from the centers, the NHS system is not very good in itself either. It's quite failed. It's very faulty right now, especially during COVID. It's failing. Right? You at least say that, Dress. Come on, it's not very good for the people.
I think it has challenges, but
yes,
having been to doctors in multiple countries and having lived in multiple countries, it depends where you live. Where I live, if I book an appointment with my doctor, I get to see them within 3 or 4 days. I have access to a pretty decent hospital that's looked after me. I mean, I suffer from sleep apnea, and I had a problem. And I went to speak to the consultant and the charge nurse that was there. And they said, oh gosh, this is impacting some stuff with you. Normally we have a drop-in on a Wednesday, but if you need to drop in any day, that's absolutely fine. Just ring the bell and we'll come and look after you.
Okay, well, that's in the UK.
That to me is an amazing, and that's something I don't have to. I never have to worry, truth, about thinking, do I have enough money to go and see my GP? Do I have enough money to go to hospital? Because of the excess charges that are outside my insurance charges.
I did that. I appreciated that there too, but that's not seriously, that's not what is happening for everyone. I know someone that was just at the hospital for almost 3 weeks, just trying to figure out, waiting on a blood clot, seeing if they had a blood clot and a scan. So 3 weeks it took them just to get a scan in the hospital. So the NHS system is failing in many, many ways, honey. So, and I know you agree with that.
And
it's
also,
not just like everybody's getting that same care, honey.
Also, you say the NHS is publicly funded. I mean, the government in the UK is publicly funded. What does that mean? So most drugs, and you'll notice that this whole world with COVID and all the vaccines and whatever, they all come through the FDA, right? And the FDA is not just a pharmaceutical company. It is run by the US government, and it has a revolving door policy with CEOs of pharmaceutical companies and lobbyists and government members from the US who go in, and then they go in and they look at these drugs and they approve them and they release them to the worldwide market. So someone knows what these drugs are doing. Someone knows what the effects are that they have on the people. And the doctors, yeah, for sure, maybe they don't go in with the intention to do this stuff, but somebody knows what's going on with this shit.
So we were talking. I just want to very quickly respond to that. The FDA does not have anything to do with drug approval in the UK.
But this is the point that I was trying to make, like a few minutes ago when you started talking about the UK. Is I was referring to the US and how it's set up over here. I've never been to the UK. I don't know how it works in UK. And I don't know what relevancy it is when we're discussing like how things are operating in the US for someone to bring up another country and how it works there. It's totally irrelevant.
Well,
I
I do at least think that what, ethics just said does kind of bring that in as a whole, though, because what happens here does take a big effect all over the world of what drugs get pushed and if they're allowed here. I'm not saying it's allowed all over the world, no, but we do see that effect. It's not just here. So there is a all over the world dress kind of thing happening there. But she was only speaking about the U.S., and I agree, the U.S. is way worse when it comes to that. When I went to the UK, it wasn't the same. I had better care. But here, it's a joke. What the heck's going on? We're
True
like an
ethics, hang on. True ethics, you've got to echo and you're hot micing when other people are talking. So if you don't care, could you mute your mic when other people are talking, please?
Oh, sorry.
No problem. I mean, it happens.
One of the advantages that the NHS, and I agree, the medical system in America is profit led, and I think that is a huge problem. Over here, it's not profit led. We're not, our health service is not here to make money. And I think that's a huge benefit, regardless of the challenges it may have. And Stacey's right, that there are some challenges with the NHS. But one of the big powers that it has is, rather than having to be nice to pharmaceutical companies, the NHS is actually horrible to them, because they've got them over a barrel. We have block purchasing. So the negotiations that go on and the contracts that go on to buy drugs is a very different process to how it works in the US. And again, I don't think pharmaceutical companies are out to try and kill people. I don't think they think, we make more profit by making people ill.
Really?
I think they fuck up like any other company.
I'm so looking forward to Spent getting back in here, by the way, and talking, because he knows so much from about Germany and everywhere, like, and from the UK, and he's been up in this stuff in the NHS system and stuff. So I can't wait till you can go back and forth with him, because he's going to destroy you. I love you, Dress, though. It's going to be like destroying in a good way. Just sit back.
I mean, for me,
It's going to be toe to toe. Is my point. It's going to be good.
I mean, I think I don't understand. I'll give you a really simple example. If you've got a problem, you're going to go and generally see a doctor. You're not going to go and see a spiritual healer. And
I can give you an anecdote.
Also, if you got a problem, I'll solve it.
I can give you an anecdote, right?
Spice, baby.
I brought my my kid into the hospital for the common cold, and they tried to do a spinal tap. They tried to put a catheter in him, and they tried to get me to give several different antibiotics before they even knew what was going on.
Well, that doesn't sound like it was a common cold.
Yeah, it was. No, hold on. I'm not done.
Yeah, no. I mean, giving a kid a spinal tap,
we had.
They must have been horrified. Sorry, I'm a parent, so I can imagine your concern.
Yeah, so they tried to do a spinal tap on my 28-day-old child.
Oh my gosh.
Then they tried to put a catheter in him. Then they tried to get me to do surgery. Then they tried to convince me that he had meningitis.
Huh.
Okay? And that there was something going on in the brain where he would have to have surgery if I didn't give in and let them put I think it was 9 different types of antibiotics into his bloodstream at the same time.
No.
And I said no to all of it.
They didn't. Did they try jumper cables too?
Yeah.
They would have, I'm sure, right?
I'm sorry, but that would have killed him, honey. Yeah.
Yeah, it would have.
You think he's telling the truth, people?
Yes.
You think I'm lying right now?
Yes, I do.
Mike, in all seriousness, and I'm on.
Like, seriously? Like, what the fuck, dude?
I'm gonna at least accept the fact he's being honest until demonstrated otherwise.
Yeah, and real quick,
Yeah,
whoever
no, he
said
needs
that,
with claims like this,
Mike,
he needs to demonstrate that he is being honest. I'm sorry,
Michael
that's
doesn't.
just
He's explaining
unbelievable.
something about his family. You need to
You
stop.
stop.
Yeah.
If
That's
that,
really
So
fucked up.
what?
I'm gonna go
Okay.
ahead
So
and serve him
meningitis.
because that's
So
disrespectful. I will not allow that here. He's trying to
no,
explain
no, no,
something
no,
about
no.
a
It's not
child. This is
disrespectful.
not
The fact
okay.
that he's
Go
lying
ahead. I
to
don't
us
care about
is
your show.
disrespectful. Okay. Now, where
Mike
were
has a
the
child.
CAT scans? Where were the MRIs that showed the meningitis?
Sorry about
Where's
that, Ben.
where's
No,
all
it's
of
really
these
weird that
tests that
someone's
were
going to
done
claim
to
that,
show all these
like,
things?
what I'm stating is a lie. This is what the doctors tried to do to my child when we went to the hospital. I told
For
my
a
wife
cold.
not to bring him in, and she was scared because he had a fever, so she brought him into the hospital. And then we went through an entire
You don't have
ordeal
a
for a
fever
week
for a
and a
cold,
half.
buddy.
They would not let
The
us
re-
take our child out of the hospital after
Was
she had brought him in.
he running
the
a
And
reason
temperature over 100?
Look at
the,
these
the reason
fucking
everybody
people
in
just
the
eating it
room
up.
is probably not like, questioning him like that and
I
asking,
got
because
muted.
I'd say if you go down the list, everybody who's got children probably have their own anecdotal experience with
Oh my
something similar.
god.
I mean, I know I do. I've got 3 grown
I've
children,
just
and I do.
I've heard stories from reliable humans in my life that also indicate that there are issues.
they would have killed my
Thank you.
child
Yep.
They would
if
have
they
killed
had
my
continued down
child.
the path that they were trying to go.
Yes, that's
What's
correct.
the
They
And
definitely want to kill your
so like
child.
I had debates with the doctors and the
Mm.
nurses. So at first it started with like one nurse, right? And I debated her on the efficacy of what she was trying to give
I'm
to my
sure.
kid. And so they said, okay, well, we won't give it to him. And then the next instance was 3 nurses, the head nurse, and the doctor. And the doctor, a guy from India, actually agreed with me on every single
From India. You
statement that I
understand
made.
that
He said, "Well, he's not
if
actually
there
wrong.
was any
He's
kind
correct on
of
everything he said. I
opposition
don't think we should."
to doing what
And then we had
they're
another
saying that
doctor,
needed to be done,
and
then
about 5
CPS would have been
nurses
called.
from
Like there would
America
have been
that were
a
trying
huge
to force me
investigation
to
done.
do this with my
Like
child.
like they
And
wouldn't suspect
then at
meningitis unless there was
the
a
end
fucking
debate,
test done
where
that
I'm
showed
there with
meningitis.
like
Like
7
what
nurses,
is this guy
a head
talking
nurse,
about?
and a
This
doctor,
is all fucking
and they're
lies.
trying to get me to like do all these different medical procedures to my child, who is only a fucking month old,
Lies.
right? And I refused all of it. Well, guess what happened?
Got
The
better.
next 2 days, my child was fine.
Yeah.
But they wanted to do
Oh,
spinal taps. They wanted to put catheters in his penis at the age of a month.
That's not how that
The
works.
antibiotics
Why
alone.
the fuck would you put a
Yeah. Go ahead,
catheter
Freaky
into
Beth.
a
You want to speak
baby?
first?
Like that doesn't make sense.
well, my youngest daughter was, she was a preemie, and I had my own experience with
Catheter in
doctors.
a
Like the
baby.
doctors, any questions that I would have for him, right, and anything that I'd researched on, and
What
he
a
was trying to tell
fucking
me
dick.
things that
What
my
an
daughter,
asshole.
explain things to me
Making
about my
up
daughter
such
that I
a
knew was
fucking
not true
story.
because I was the one that was taking care of her. I knew when she would have projectile vomiting and when she wouldn't. I knew when she would like have a gag reflex, and I knew that she was pulling her hair when she cried. She had something going on that was causing headaches, and he was trying to tell me there wasn't anything wrong with her. So when I started questioning the things that he was
Oh,
saying,
so we're going with the
and
opposite
then
here.
it was like I probably shouldn't have done this if I could have went back and changed things. But maybe it was meant to happen that way because the entire Department for Community-Based Services, Protection and Permanency was replaced. Every worker there was replaced afterwards. So I guess there was a lot of good that came out of it. And the county started looking at this doctor, which I mean, he ended up, dying 2 years after my final court date. So I mean, maybe it's karma, maybe it's not. I don't know. Who knows? He died of cancer. So he
Wow.
apparently didn't know enough about what he was trying to preach to me to save
And
his
I was
own
out of
self.
line.
But anyway, I had questions. I questioned him, and I pointed some things out to him. And when I said something to my son, who was like 2 at the time, as we walked out of the doctor's office, I'm like, come on, let's go find a different doctor. It's like, I'm not even sure this guy's got a license. Maybe he got it out of Cracker Jack box. Yeah, it was young. I was younger, and that was the arrogant thing for me to say, and I probably shouldn't have said it. But as I was walking out, the nurse stopped me and said, you need to wait right here. And I'm like, I'm not making another appointment, so I don't need to wait right here. She goes, no, the doctor's got something to give you. And she brings me this envelope. So he's calling social services because I'm going to take her to a different doctor because he's saying there's nothing wrong with her. And I'm saying that I do know that there's plenty wrong with her.
You would
Right?
not
Because
get
she's got a lot of symptoms that
another
that's pointing to
lie.
a lot of different directions.
You would not get
And so it's
social
multiple.
services called on you
Right.
if
So
you were
I
bringing
ended
your
up fighting in court for
child
2
to
years
another
against this
doctor.
doctor. And at the same time, I'm taking
In
my
what
daughter
fucking
to
world?
another doctor that's a specialist, right? A neonatologist, because she was a preemie. This doctor was a general peds doctor, so he's not even, even according to the medical industry, not even qualified to treat her, right? But he was my other 2 children's doctor because I had 3, and this was my youngest, and she was almost 3 months early, just a little over a week or a week and a half shy of being 3 months early. So when I took her to the other doctor, which was at
All
a
right, I gotta
university
go to bed.
hospital,
I
and
can't
they were
handle this anymore.
specialists. Now there things operate a little different.
So good. I might not be able to talk in stream in their thing anymore, but I can still listen, and that's half as fun.